Hey everybody, it's Deanna here. Happy almost October. I wanted to share four cards, and I actually don't even know what they are. I have my deck right here, and I thought it would be fun to interpret them as we go on this live. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and welcome so you never miss any videos on how to trust and love yourself. And if you also have never seen these Goddess Guidance Oracle messages, I encourage you to get a sheet of paper out and to write down any impressions from your own intuition that come up when you see the cards. It can be really, really fun. And even if you're seeing this late, go ahead and leave me a comment and say hello. And let's get started. Hi, Erin. How are you? All right. So before I even shuffle the deck, October is a month of alchemy. When I was tuning in to the month, the word that came is alchemy. And if you think of an alchemist, right, it's about changing the material substance of something, changing the energy. So, what is it that you're being invited to see right now from a different perspective? Where have you been so fixed, right? It has to be this one way, or I'm so used to believing it this one way that you haven't allowed space for it to alchemize into something else, something that can help you. This could be anything from relationships to jobs to health concerns to money, even your own spiritual practice and how you approach it, right? Like so often we get stuck in these routines and it's really hard to see outside the box. So alchemy is your word for October. What can you alchemize and where can you step into being your own alchemist? It's so easy to let the outside world and temporary circumstances throw you off your game. But if you know who you are and you are anchored in your spiritual center, then life, right? Life feels a lot more free. You are creating your reality. Let's see what cards come up. And for those of you that are curious, I am using Denise Linn's Sacred Traveler Oracle deck. This is one of my favorite decks, not only for the art, but just the energy that's off the cards is pretty cool. So, all right, here we go, guys. What do we need to know for the first week in October? Actually, I'm going to pull all four cards now face down, so even I don't know what they're going to be. Woohoo! All right, the first week, the first week, look at this. Passion and pleasure. Having fun. Thank Goddess, right? My goodness. So this image is of a bunch of gypsies just dancing around the campfire, enjoying life, having fun, engaging in celebration of some kind. So this is suggestive that, part of alchemizing your life is enjoying the little wins and the big wins. So often we're consciously looking for the next thing. We skip over any positive things or we go straight to what could happen and what could go wrong. But this card is saying no, when you can really engage in pleasure and remember what your passions are, play is just as important as productivity. This is something that um, I stress in my new course, Ascend. For those of you that are not signed up for it, the link is in the description. We're going to be exploring personal power and what helps you get into your power authentically. And part of that is pleasure, although it seems counterintuitive to the logical mind. So, first week in October, have some fun. Maybe September was kind of a doozy month for you, but it's over, right? Once we get to October, it's a new, fresh start if you allow it to be. Put it over here. All right. So let's look at the second month or the second week in the month. Valiant courage. Take action with passion. We're getting all the passion cards today. I feel like that is a theme. So we've got this dude on his horse riding into, it looks like an outdoor stadium, gladiator style. And the tent, for some reason, when I look at the tent, it feels very symbolic. Like you may be preparing for something. It's not quite time for something yet to fully birth and fully manifest. You may want to go into the tent and kind of commiserate with yourself, commiserate with others, and really fine tune your vision. But when it's time to act, you may not feel ready. You may feel like you don't have all of the information to act, but you can trust your gut. So, week 2, if I were to give it a word, courage. Courage and contemplation, but not too much, right? That you don't take action. Then we go to week 3. I love this card too. Reaching your destination. Woohoo! 3rd week in October. Your light is shining brightly. Look at that. Reminds me of like a Disney movie, right? With the little bubble, the castle in the sky. And if you look at the other bubbles, right, these are empty bubbles, but they're still very beautiful. So maybe some of the things that you wanted didn't necessarily manifest, but it doesn't matter because this other cool thing that's like, you know, metaphorically the castle does. So can you trust that? Can you trust that you're going to reach your destination in October and that it may look very different than you expect, right? Like look at the road. You know, it's funny what comes up also. So often we think we have to follow a road, even when it's like really obviously carved out, right? Like it's obvious. You go that way, I'm doing this backwards, and then that way, and then up. And then here's this like magical bubble with the castle in it in the middle of the road, like in the air. So be open for paths that seem unconventional or that you can't even see when you're taking this action. It may appear as if out of thin air, but it's going to be magical. So if I were to give week 3 a word, it would be trust. Trust that you're going exactly where you need to go and that it's all going to be fine. And then as we wrap up the month, getting ready for Halloween, answering the call. The time is now. So this goddess is stepping through a portal, stepping through this archway, and there's a deer on the other side. And deer in totem animals represents diplomacy, it represents gentleness, kindness, being light on your feet. And I'm also hearing light in your speech. Like there may have been a lot that came up as you were taking action in the month of October, and then you reached a destination and you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I can't believe like all this effort and we're finally done. That you may feel like, okay, I just need to like run through the portal to the other side. But this card is suggesting no, like walk lightly, walk gently, enjoy the path, enjoy crossing the threshold. I'm also feeling like some of you this in October are going to be getting engaged or married. Like there's some kind of transition, death, rebirth going on of identity, of self. But answer the call. Whatever is calling you, chances are high that it's coming from your soul. So answer the call. Let's go over those again really quickly. So card 1 was passion and pleasure, all about fun, celebration. Remember the small wins. They're very important. Week 2, valiant courage. You may not have all the answers, but go for it anyway. Week 3, and it pays off. Look at that. Something you couldn't have seen is something better than you could even imagine. May present itself. Trust. And answer the call. Move through, go through without fear. And even if you do feel afraid, just know that there's always support available to you. One of the things I've found is that as you go on the path, oftentimes we think, oh, the more that I trust my intuition, the more that I trust myself, like the easier it gets, right? Yes and no. Because the more you dial in, the more obvious and faster, right, it's going to feel when something maybe is misaligned or something's off or there's something wonky. And it's so easy to go into, tunnel vision and just focus on the one thing that you want at all costs. But what's coming through to share is like honor your sensitivity, honor the heightened responsibility that comes with creating your life, with listening to yourself. Is this making sense, you guys? And if you know that you want to open to more, if maybe life has felt a little bit stop and start as of late, or you feel, or you know, right, that you want to come back into balance, you want to come back into flow, I would love to have you for Ascend. My new course starts October 12th, but you can get early bird pricing until October 5th. So check out the link. And I would love to hear from you. If there's anything I can support you with, let me know. And subscribe to the channel, the YouTube channel, if you're not already on it. And have a wonderful day. Let me know in the comments how you're doing, and let's make it a great month.